Welcome back, guys. Episode number 3. Yes, it is the last episode, unfortunately, but we've had a lot of fun, and today's going to be just the same. Anyway, let's go home. Morning, guys. It is the morning of day 3, and I've literally just woken up. Last night was a bit of a dog of a night. It was pretty cold, so I was sleeping with my sleeping bag with 3 liners and also a jacket over me. Today I'm heading back to Canberra, about 380 k's. Doesn't sound like a lot, but the last 2 days, have been pretty slow going. I've also been skipping out on lunch as well because, well, I've been snacking along the way, but I've been having to skip out on lunch because there's not enough time to. So I'm looking forward to the getting home part, because I don't have to pitch a tent that's wet, because when you sleep in a tent and it's cold, you get condensation on the inside, which sucks. Just woken up and it's going to be a good day. I can feel it. There's no clouds in the sky and it's actually quite still. There's not a lot of wind, so that's a bonus. Awesome breakfast today, guys. Nothing better than a nice bowl of warm oats. That's a day starter right there. Chain maintenance time. And after packing up camp for the last time of the trip, I headed out to make the first obligatory stop at the weight reduction centre. And before you know it, I'm back on the road, destined for the first town of the day. And making it to the town of Huskisson, I filled up the bike in anticipation of a full day's riding. And of course, no adventure of mine is ever complete without having to ride the highway. So guys, I've just stopped on the side of the road here because my GPS battery is running low, so I've got to change that. Luckily enough, it takes standard AA batteries, so I'm going to change it out and hopefully that'll last me the rest of the trip. I think, yeah, it's actually lasted pretty well, this battery here, and I've gotten quite a few hours out of it, so I'm pretty pleased with it so far. But yeah, for AA batteries, it goes alright. And it wasn't long until I found all the back roads I was searching for, and eventually they wound their way to the state forest. A place where so much fun can be had with the twist of the throttle. A place where adventure can be found and great memories made. It feels strange to say that at the time, you feel that nothing special has happened, but you'll always reminisce on where you've ridden and how you rode it. And this road turned into something that I'd never forget, complete with steep climbs, steep descents, and to top it all off, rough terrain. 70k in, guys, and I'm already pretty knackered. That hill, going up it and coming down it again was pretty tiring, and I'm pretty sure I've still got a long ways to go back down. Man, that was pretty steep. It was like, I don't know, it would have been a 17 or 20% gradient on that one. I didn't expect to be doing like this crazy off-road today, but I guess that's what happens when you plan to do a lot of off-road. I've done probably more off-road this journey than I have done on-road, so that's pretty good. That's the first for me, so I'm going to get back on the bike and keep going. Travelling up the trail a little bit further, I was forced to make a stop to open up the first gate of the tour. Well, this part I've gotten to here has become really difficult. As you can see, this is the gradient that I'm dealing with, and I don't know if it really comes out on camera, but it's really steep. And I came across this gate here, so I need to be on the other side of it, so we're opening it. Okay. And just open like that. Open this guy. Oh yeah. Making my way up the steep hill and through the gate, I closed it behind me and headed back on the road. And after nearly falling off and missing it on camera, I struggled up the rest of the hill. You never really realise how difficult it is to ride a fully loaded KLR up a steep hill until you've actually conquered it. And I can tell you, it's a pretty difficult experience. Far out, guys. That was literally one of the more difficult things I've done in a while, and it's not over yet. It's so damn hot. Like, for winter, I am sweating like a pig. Might be just because I'm working so hard, but oh man. I need to rest for a bit because it's so damn freaking tiring. Oh man. Eventually I reached the refuge of the mountain plateau, where I was greeted with some wide open blue skies and some nice smooth dirt road. It just seemed to go on forever, and I would have ridden it forever too. It's that sort of escapism that lets you get away from it all. But before too long, it was time to give it all up to get back to reality. Gate number 2, guys. And she's locked. Look at that. All this way and it's locked. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I get through here, I guess. Yeah, I reckon I can make it through here. Found a way. But there's a will, there's a way. It is so windy right now, guys. But basically, to get to the other side of this gate, through those rocks there, I'm gonna have to take the panniers off, put them on the other side of the fence, and ride the bike through. Oh, that's difficult with one hand. I'm gonna have to ride the bike through separately. Hope you guys can hear me because it's really windy. Let's do this. After a couple of minutes of scraping my bikes on through the rocks, I finally made it to the other side and out of the state forest. That was a very, very tight squeeze. Would not have been able to make that with the panniers on, most definitely. So, putting these panniers back on now. Surprised I was actually able to make it through. I was literally scraping on both sides of the crash bar on the front here. We got through, and that road was pretty damn difficult. I think I almost crashed about 4 or 5 times, which is more than enough for one tour. Usually once is enough for me. Back on the road once again, I headed down the highway for about 150 kilometers. I know I say I hate riding highways quite a fair bit, but the fact is, when you've ridden as much dirt as I have over the past 3 days, the highway is a nice welcome change. But unfortunately the wind had really started to pick up now, and I was noticing it quite a lot, so I hunkered in for the long haul so I could make some more progress. So you can tell I'm getting closer and closer to home because it's getting colder and colder, and it's actually still pretty sunny, but very, very windy. I'm being blown around like anything on the bike, and I'm sure you can probably hear the wind drowning out my voice at the moment. But yeah, I think it's about 1 o'clock now. I'm making pretty good time. A lot more road than I had the past 2 days, so I'm making pretty good distance at the moment. So I'm going to have a little something to eat, and there are two different ways to go. There's either down this way or down that way. Not sure which way I'm going to go. They're both pretty much the same distance. That one goes to Gundaroo, that one goes to Gunning, and yeah, I'll think about it. Let's go on, dude. I was getting closer and closer to home with every kilometre rolling over, and I can say I was sad to see it all end. So I decided to stop on the side of the road for one last time to have a bit of a rest. Here we are, guys. This is the very last stretch, and it's also very windy, so I'm hiding you guys behind the windshield of my bike. And on the very last stretch there is the very last dirt road as well. Travelled 3 days, approximately probably about 900 kilometres, so not terribly big a distance, but it was a very, very intensive journey, and I'm glad that I conquered all those dirt roads. There were some difficult parts and there were some easy parts, and this part here just happens to be one of the easier parts. And yeah, I'll be glad to go home and have a nice bath, because I haven't had any kind of cleaning for the past 3 days, so that'll be a warm welcome. Anyway, I'll catch you guys when I get home. Finally reaching the city of Canberra, the journey was over. 3 days of solid dirt riding had passed underneath my tyres. I had travelled roads that haven't been travelled for quite some time, and cleared my path as I went along. Sure, there may have been some difficult parts along the way that tested my skill level, but these were offset with the times that I had that were great, like camping and having a campfire to keep you warm at night. But most of all, my KLR, which has carried me and my gear for 3 days without so much as a moan. The countless kilometres, mud and bugs my KLR has gathered has never ceased to amaze me. And it takes a special kind of bike to do that. A bike with character, a bike with rough edges, and certainly a bike that can do anything. And that bike is my bike.